Welcome to the Joint Board, Tuesday, June 9th. Please stand for pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Joint Board to introduce themselves, standing up for right.
John Smith, Board of Finance. Michael Lamothe, Board of Finance.
Mike Ferry, Board of Finance.
Derek Chichalowski, Board of Finance.
Rich Mizlikowski, City Council.
Eric Carlson, City Council.
Mary Portier, City Council.
Calvin Brown, City Council.
Gary, Board of Finance.
Councilor Teresa Peck. Assistant Dawn Ravella.
Mayor Ken Cochran. Item number 1.
Approval of minutes of the regular Joint Board meetings on May 12th, 2015 and May 18th, 2015.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item 2.
Consent calendar, and there are 8 items. 2A, to make an additional appropriation of $92,132 within the Special Grants and Donations Fund for Code Enforcement. 2B is to make an additional appropriation of $8,380 within the Library Good Cell operating budget funded by trust income. 2C is to transfer $6,500 within the personnel operating budget for advertising and pre-employment screenings. 2D is to make an additional appropriation of $1,105 within the Mayor's HIV Task Force operating budget funded by contributions. 2E to make an additional appropriation of $28,778 within the Parks Department operating budget funded by trust income. 2F to transfer $22,420 within the Equipment Building Sinking Fund contingency account for a temporary HVAC system at DMAC, and to make an additional 2G, to make an additional appropriation of $6,000 within the Special Grants and Donations Fund for the Discover Pathway to Financial Success Grant, and 2H is to make an additional appropriation of $21,519 within the Special Education Grant Fund for the School Security Competitive Grant Program.
So moved.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 3.
To make an additional appropriation of $100,000 within the Capital Projects Fund for the Hillside Place intersection reconstruction project funded by the sale of bonds or notes.
Move it.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 4.
To transfer $403,957.51 of uncollectible taxes, $219,655.92 for motor vehicles, $57,298.33 for supplemental motor vehicle, and $127,003.26 for personal property.
So
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item 5.
Transfer $35,000 from the general fund contingency account to the miscellaneous tax foreclosure account.
Move it. Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 6.
To make an additional appropriation of $24,212 within the general fund funded by reimbursement for fire services.
Move. Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item 7.
To make an additional appropriation of $24,212 within the Equipment Building Sinking Fund funded by a transfer in from the general fund for the fire truck reserve.
Move. Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 8.
To make an additional appropriation of $67,324 within the general fund funded by an insurance reimbursement.
Move it. Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 9.
To make an additional appropriation totaling $67,324 within the Equipment Building Sinking Fund funded by transfer in from the general fund, $35,000 for repairs to the F-26 dump truck, and $32,324 to the contingency account. So
Move it. Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 10.
to make an additional appropriation $566,370 within the general fund funded by a distribution from the RRFOC.
Move it.
second.
Made second. Discussion.
Yes. Is the $306,000 the final cost for the East Main Street demolition? That's listed on this transfer?
Where is Roger?
Well, I may not be the person that you're looking for. To the best of my knowledge, those are all of the costs. I was not involved in the process itself, but I do believe that captures the cost for the demolition contractor as well as for the disposal of hazardous materials.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion passes. Item 11.
To make an additional appropriation of $260,330 within the equipment building sinking fund, funded by transfer in from the general fund.
Motion to approve. Second. Motion made second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Item 12.
Monthly revenue and expense report presentation by the Comptroller.
Good evening, everyone. We have some, I think, good news to report. I was hoping that Henry was going to be here so I can talk a little bit about the state budget numbers with you. But first, on my report, if you have it on your computer or in front of you, there's a couple updates that have happened in the last 2 days since I sent the report out to you. Under the expenditures, we reported the overtime of at $125,000 for the CID overtime. It's a little bit higher than that. The police, I think we sent out a memorandum. If you didn't receive it today, you'll receive it tomorrow in your emails, that they've had a lot more activity than in a normal year, and you're probably aware of that, so a little bit higher. Also, for the last several months, we've been reporting to you that our snow removal was going to be in excess of $630,000, and I guess we have speaking with Walter in the last couple days, that was a projection that took place in late February. And fortunately, the projection was high for us. So, and also, in speaking with Walter, he stopped a couple of the loads coming in at salt when he knew that it was getting a little bit later in the season. So, we went from 630 to 365,000. So we saved ourselves about $260-ish $1,000 in snow removal. So, but once again, those are projections that we did early in the season. So it's a little bit tough to do. And one positive, very positive note that we received based on the state legislature's final numbers, we're expected to receive $1,962,000 and over what we budgeted in the ECS grant. So that's something that I think we need to look at. And also, they're going back, I understand, in special session to talk about the Alliance grant. Sometimes Robin and I were worried that that number, that $1,962,000, incorporated a portion of the Alliance, and the Alliance has to go to the Board of Ed exclusively. It doesn't change their MBR, but they still get to use that money, and so that's going to happen, I read, in special session. So far, the $1,962,000 is ours in the ECS. What my plans would be to recommend to the Board of Finance would be that we would obviously not let that fall to fund balance, but as we've done in the past, and John Smith has encouraged us in the last couple of years, and we've done that, is to manage our fund balance. So we won't let it fall to fund balance. We'll put it into the sinking fund, and we can use that money to address any increases in the budget in the following year, the 16-17 year. So already that's representing at the current grand list rate $500,000. So we've got, if the Board of Finance agrees, we've got $500,000 covered for the next budget year, not the one coming up, but the following one. So it's kind of important. And just as an aside, we're starting to gear up for the Affordable Care Act that's going to take place at the end of the year. This is part of the Obamacare, and we have, the Board of Education, the Water Department, and the Health Department, we have to issue forms similar to the W-2s. W-2s, as you know, cover wages. This is going to be addressing our health care coverage, basically saying you have health care coverage, this is what it is, and that type of thing. It's quite, we're gearing up with our software on it, we're gearing up with going for training sessions, and it's going to be quite a monumental thing. Another thing that's affecting Obamacare that I'd like to just bring it up now because it's going to be effective in 2 years is the Cadillac tax. And that Cadillac tax that we've been discussing in the John's Insurance Committee could hit us into the tune of $1 million or more. In the beginning, it was talking $3 million, but we're not so sure that's going to hold. But we haven't set anything aside for that. So I think in this upcoming budget year, we're going to have to look at what takes place in December when we receive the audit report. If we have a substantial surplus, I suspect that we will have, I know we'll have a surplus because our numbers are doing very well. Expenditures are in line and revenues are exceeding in taxes and everything like that. So we'll have to start to put some money aside for the Cadillac tax. Even if the presidential administration changes, we've been told that it's still going to go through. So it probably won't be revoked unless the administration change takes place, and it would be in the last couple of years of a 4-year term. So something we have to be aware of. But good news with the 1.962 million.
Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question on the Cadillac tax flood. Now, how far out would we cover?